Hello, welcome to eXp Explained with Kate, Luana, and Kyle. You're watching this video because you've either had questions about eXp, you just want to find out more information, or you're just checking out the options, and we're here to explain a little bit about eXp. We're going to briefly go through all about our company, and after that, you should have a clear understanding of what eXp is all about. So I'm going to start with a little introduction about myself. My name is Kate Pieper. I've been a licensed real estate agent since 2014. I most recently left my RE/MAX brokerage. It's been a year with eXp now, exactly a year on the 15th. I was a platinum selling agent with RE/MAX, and I saw an opportunity with eXp. I just couldn't not see anymore, so that's why I made my change, and it's been an amazing change for me. It's really elevated my business, it's elevated my skills, and it's really given me more opportunity to not only sell real estate, but more opportunities for myself and my family. And it's really been amazing for me. I'm going to introduce Luana. Luana is a new eXp agent, and you can hear a little bit about her.
Hi guys, thanks for joining us. I've had a few people ask me, how much I'm liking it, and it's only been a month so far, but I'm absolutely loving everything about it. There was a lot of hesitation at first, but once I started to really delve into it, I realized that this is really a great opportunity for myself. I've been in real estate license since 2013, and I've worked in a private brokerage and I've worked in a national brokerage, and both were really great stepping stones to learn a lot about, the transaction itself and how real estate actually works. But I felt like I was missing some of the tools that I really thought are going to take my business to the next level.
Awesome. Well, and my name is Kyle Handy. I'm the American, the person that gets the great fortune to work with these two amazing ladies on a day-to-day basis, and they've helped me elevate my game here at this company, just being in their presence and seeing all the great stuff that they're doing. And so I've been with eXp for about 3 years now, since about summer of 17. Before that, I had my own independent brokerage here in San Antonio, Texas. I built that for about 4 years and got to around 15 agents before I saw the model that is eXp, and it completely changed everything. I saw, everything, the tools and systems and training and the collaboration and the support that they gave to agents. And I knew that after I saw that presentation, there's just no way that I could go back to my independent brokerage and, be able to give that same experience to my agents. And so, I had to make a change. I had to make a switch. And I came here with a lot of big plans in mind. I wanted to be able to scale my personal sales business, but I also wanted to grow a team much larger than I would have ever been able to grow just here in my local market. And eXp allows agents to do that. And so I've definitely taken advantage of that. So I look forward to sharing with you guys today a little bit about the model and, share with you realistically what it can do in your business and your life. So with that being said, we're going to kick things off, guys. I'm going to take the first part here. So let me start sharing my screen. And so you can see here what we're going to talk to you guys about today. So first off, we're going to cover a little bit about who we are as a company, our business model. We're going to show you eXp World and the solutions that we get as agents here to run our sales business. And then we're going to talk to you about joining eXp and how that happens and what that looks like. So that being said, let's kick it off. We're going to start with our founder, Mr. Glenn Sanford. Glenn has been in the real estate business since 2002. He was with a really large brokerage before eXp, national brokerage. I'm sure a lot of people have known of Keller Williams, but that's where he was a team leader at. And basically, Glenn had built his business for about 6 years there, had really grown a nice team doing about $60 million in volume. And but then in 2008, we all know what happened with kind of the housing market and the real estate industry. And Glenn thought to himself, because he saw at that time that he had so much risk and overhead and things tied up with the traditional model, the way that real estate had been done for 100 years, that he thought to himself, there's got to be a better way. And so in basically 2009, Glenn started and created eXp Realty the first cloud-based real estate brokerage. And so you can see here, Glenn started in 2009, and by 2010, we had already opened up in the first 11 states. I can tell you personally that I've met Glenn on multiple occasions. He is a visionary thinker. He is conservative by nature as far as, if he ever makes a claim, I always know that he's conservative. And some of the stuff that he's shared with me, it's really exciting to be a part of this company, because you can just see what Glenn is trying to do and what he's already done. But in 2013, another great milestone that eXp hit was that we became publicly traded. We're one of the few publicly traded stock companies, real estate brokerages. There are others, but there's something that makes us completely unique. And we'll get into that when we talk about our stock compensation later on. But in 2013, we became publicly traded. In 2014, we launched in Canada. So that's definitely exciting. 2016, we really started to gain some steam and some momentum, and we actually tripled our agent count in 2016. I came on in 2017, so right I was part of that tripling. Once I started to really see it taking off, that was a time when I figured I had to make the move over. And then in 2018, we finally hit all 50 United States in the US. And then we also joined the NASDAQ stock exchange. So we got uplisted, because prior to that, from 2013 to 2018, we were just over-the-counter stock. So that really legitimized us as a big company, because we're traded on a really reputable stock exchange like the NASDAQ. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But you can see here our explosive growth. We literally went from less than 1,000 agents to 28,000 agents in about 4 years' time. So from 2016 to 2020, it's just been a lot of fun to be a part of this. I think that that's something that, when you're within any other brokerage, they're all, some of them are very similar, but when you join eXp, you'll see very quickly that just the way that we collaborate, we meet one another, we share ideas, and we actually produce more here. I think it's one of the reasons why we've grown so quickly. You'll see that when I talk about production, that we basically are the #1 top independent brokerages ranked by closed transaction sides for all of 2019. So that's a pretty amazing accomplishment. We are also the #2 top movers in volume, as far as the largest increase in volume from 2018 sales to 2019 sales. So we are not only growing our agent count, but also we're getting a lot of productive agents that are the top agents in their markets, team leaders, brokerages. And just the other month, there was an independent brokerage with over 800 agents that made the move to eXp Realty. And we're hearing news like that day in and day out here. So it's just really fun to be a part of it. It's fun to team up with top minds throughout the entire countries that we're a part of, which we're part of 4 countries. We'll get into that a little bit later. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over back to our host, Miss Kate, to talk a little bit about the business model.
Thanks. And I just want to add a fun little fact about our founder. He's actually an Alberta boy, and he's got some family ties still here in the province, which is, I think, just super cool, and a fun little fact about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about our business model and the innovation behind it. So I think we can all agree that the internet has really changed a lot of businesses. Just like Blockbuster went wayside of Netflix, this is just another natural step, I think, in our progression as humans in our technology. And the best way I can explain it is, we're all so used to the traditional business model where you've got your CEOs and your managers and your assistant managers, and then you've got, your employees. So it's a top-down model that we've all known our whole lives, and everything's been that way. But eXp's really broken that model down, just as, the other industry disruptors in their own industries have. So with eXp, it's an agent-owned model. So instead of having your broker and your brokerages, like your traditional broker, and then you have your agents, everything is coming through to the agent now. So it's all agent-owned. So it's your own leads, your own branding, your own efforts. It's not you know, it's not the broker and then your splits and you have to follow, you know, their marketing, which is, it's really opened up a whole new, you know, side of this real estate where you can really let yourself be creative and build your own brand and grow your own team that way. So, you know, there's no franchise fees, there are no desk fees. It's one brokerage. It's not a franchise, which is, I think, different than people are used to. And it's really, really innovative. So with the cloud campus, you know, we don't have, like I said, desk fees. You can work from anywhere. We have amazing training from anything from, you know, technology tools to sales training, lead generation training. It's really amazing. There's over 50 hours a week of training available to us. So we've, as a brokerage, have cut the overhead. So there's no brick and mortar costs. And that savings has allowed us to have a completely different model where the agents are benefiting from that. So everything is online. It's completely paperless. And you know, we get to invest in our agent success rather than the success of an individual brokerage. So we have, just as you're used to in your traditional brokerages, we have our support. We have tech support. We have our finance support, experts, transaction specialists. But the difference is you're going online and you're not getting up in the morning and driving to an office or, you know, waiting for that person who's on holidays to come back. You really have online support available to you. So it allows us to interact internationally. We can really build our teams. We're not put in these little boxes that we don't know we're in, but they are there. So it's beautiful. It's borderless. So you can build a team across Canada, United States. We're in the United Kingdom and Australia now. So it's really just exploded. I'm going to kick it to Luana, and she's going to explain a little bit about our tools and our eXp solutions, and she'll let us know what she likes about it and what she's learned and the benefits she's had.
eXp World is like our basic, it's our training, it's a cloud campus environment. Nothing I've ever used before, but it's absolutely so efficient, but it's also like bringing everyone together, you know, going into a conference, you know, I don't have to go to the US or I don't have to go to a city in order to gain the experience or gain the knowledge that, you know, someone who is presenting, you know, and especially with what we're going through right now with COVID, like I haven't had any interruptions to the ability to actually go and do live training with, you know, some of the industry's best, you know. The community itself is pretty interesting to walk through. I'll have to tell you a story of me walking through people when my first time I tried it, because we all adopt an avatar. So you can walk through just like you were walking through any other campus, but you can go to information, you can go to the daily training, and you go to these large scale meetings and you're sitting beside people who are, you know, doing $3 million a year in GCI, and you're just kind of like blown away that you're just sitting there with them. eXp also offers health benefits for Canadians. They've just rolled this out, and you know, it's a great option for those who are needing the health benefits plan. The solutions, this is like my baby. I love the solutions. I love everything that eXp provides. You know, they have Enterprise, which is, it's crucial for your business. It gives you everything that you can imagine for like your own business. You can see all of your commission, your details, equity awards. Skyslope is amazing. I absolutely love it. It is like the most efficient and easy to use for your day-to-day business. It's really, really cool from my perspective, because it cuts out so much time. Like Kate said, you don't have to wait for somebody if they're gone, or, you know, everything's done in real time. And the support that you have on the end is amazing. Workplace by Facebook is awesome. I love it. So far, I've really come to take it as my go-to every day, because we have, I was just in an Alberta Alberta agents meeting with our brokers. You know, so you're meeting people online that you can, refer to back and forth because we work in the same area. But workplace is the place to go. I can talk to anybody from anywhere, and literally I have an answer within moments. The support is incredible. The CRM and lead generation, I love this too, because Kate touched on it earlier, and it was a lot about how you can have leads coming into you, and you don't realize how much the powerful engine that it is, and it provides you with just so much feedback, and it's giving me people's names, phone numbers in real time that I can contact who have been interested in my property. So again, that's just going to benefit the sellers that I'm working with. And the marketing and branding, I love that we can use what eXp provides, but we can also add to it, and we can create our own set of marketing brand ideas. And so
you're not held back by the rules set in place for where you're currently at. You really are and encouraged to build your brand and market yourself that way. I think that's just like a huge game changer right there.
Yeah, it really was one of the big reasons why we made the move. I mean, I had built my brand for 4 years as an independent brokerage owner, and I didn't want to just give that up. And luckily, when I moved to eXp, I didn't have to. I mean, of course, I have to comply with my state regulations as far as listing eXp as the broker, but nothing says I have to use their logo or their colors or anything like that. So I can still make it my own, which is really, really nice. So, real quick, I'll kind of go over the numbers as far as the costs to become an eXp agent. And then we're going to finish it up with the extra income earning opportunities that the company provides us as agents. So as you can see here, the startup costs are $199. You pay that one time when you first join, and then it's $139 per month thereafter. And that's going to get you access to all of those tools that Luana just had mentioned. So then down below that, you'll notice that on each one of your transactions, you will have a $29 broker review fee, and then a $17 risk management fee that caps at $200. Okay, well, let's move over to the left-hand side now. You'll notice that we've got an 80-20 commission split with a $16,000 cap. So what that means, if you're not familiar with a cap or how a cap might work, is that essentially once you have done $80,000 in gross commission income for the year, and you've paid 20% of that into eXp, that equals $16,000. You are now at 100% for the rest of the year. And so once you go to 100%, you will have a $285 capped transaction fee that you'll pay up until you hit $5,700 in capped transaction fees. Then that fee is reduced to $75. And so again, as far as the cap and the way it works is once you cap, it could be 1 month. There's some agents that cap after 1 month and then they're on 100% for the next 11 months. I've seen it. Or if it takes 6 or 7 months, however much time you have left before your anniversary year, you'll be at 100% minus the 285 until you've paid 285 in 20 times, which equals $5,700. But what's really cool is when you hit that $5,700 in capped transaction fees, then you become an icon agent. And I'm going to share with you what an icon agent means. I'm actually sitting here with 2 icon agents, plus I've actually hit icon myself 3 times. I've just hit it for the 3rd time here in 3 years at eXp. So it's an amazing opportunity. It's not something that like only the top percentage can get. It's just a production requirement. So literally every agent that joins eXp has the same opportunity as all of us as far as our splits, our caps, and hitting that icon milestone. And so this is basically, we're going to get into the additional income earning potential for eXp, and this is where it gets really exciting. So everything that we've just talked to you about, I mean, of course, all of that stuff is very good for our business. It helps us sell more homes. But if we really are looking at things that differentiate eXp Realty from any other brokerage out there, these next 2 items are those things. So I had mentioned earlier that eXp Realty, we are publicly traded. That in alone doesn't make eXp necessarily unique. But this next part does. The fact that eXp Realty gives agents stock awards for doing things that we're already doing as agents, selling real estate, things like that, that is what really makes us unique. And so if you look here at the top for the sustainable equity plan, you can see that whenever you close your first transaction each and every year, eXp gives you $200 worth of company stock. The next part is whenever you cap. So again, you've paid you've done 80,000 in gross commission income, paid 20% of that in. You are now capped. eXp gives you $400 worth of company stock. And then once you sponsor an agent and that agent closes their first deal, you also are going to get $400 worth of stock there. So let's just say, for instance, Kate sponsored me into the company. I closed my first deal 2 months into the company. And 2 months later, Kate is going to have her $400 worth of stock just for sponsoring me into the company. Then next is the Icon Agent Award. This is what I was telling you. If you cap, meaning that you've done your 80,000 in gross commission income, and then you've paid the $5,700 in capped transaction fees. So that's normally 20 transactions. The only times it gets different is if you had like a referral deal and maybe you got 30% or 50%, it might change that a little bit. But for the most part, it's about 20 more transactions. So I'll give you an example here in San Antonio. It takes 12 deals for me to cap here in my local market. And then another 20 deals, and then I'm Icon. So it takes me about 32 transactions here in my market. Depending on your average sales price and your average commission, it could vary. It could be less than that. It could be more than that. There is also one other way that you can hit Icon. It's if you do $500,000 in gross commission income in a year, the same, in 1 year, you can also hit Icon that way. So that's for agents that are doing commercial real estate, or if they're doing very high-end luxury real estate, and maybe they're not going to do a ton of transactions, but their gross commission is very high. So the great thing about once you hit Icon is that the company actually gives you the $16,000 that you paid in for your cap back to you in the form of company stock. So literally, I've been here at eXp for 3 years now. I've paid $48,000 in company cap for the 3 years that I've worked here and been a capping agent, but eXp has given me back $48,000 in stock value that I have to my name. Pretty cool. And that's, again, available for everybody that joins the company. It's not a special deal. There are no special deals at eXp. We all have the same deal. It's a very fair system. There's no, under the table kind of deals that agents get and things like that goes on behind the scenes. We're all on the same deals, same splits. The next part is the Agent Equity Program. Now, this one is an optional program. This is basically where you can choose when you sign up with the company or later on down the road, if you want to participate later, that you can take 5% of your gross commission income and receive eXp Realty stock at a 10% discount. And so essentially, if the stock is trading at like $8 or $9, I think it's at like $8 today, you would be getting it for 80 cents off of that. So for $7.20, and you can buy as much as 5% of your gross commission income that you closed that month. So let's just say for the month of March, I closed $10,000 in commissions. I'll have $500 that's withheld from those commissions that will purchase the eXp stock at a 10% discount from whatever it's trading at. I've been able to do that just in the 3 years that I've been here, and I've got right around 6,500 shares of company stock that is just sitting there. So pretty amazing as a kind of a side benefit, and and to have gotten that 10% discount on all of that stock, it's like Black Friday pricing all of the time. So pretty nice. Then the next part we're going to get into is revenue share. So this is the other part that really separates eXp Realty from the competition. And Kate kind of touched on it earlier, where we don't have the traditional kind of owner at the top. Then you have middle managers. Like if you're, let's say you're in a franchise model, you've got the regional owners, then you've got the franchise owners, then you've got the broker owners, then you've got the agents way at the bottom. Glenn, when he built this model, flipped that upside down and basically put us as agents at the very top. And so because we don't have all of the overhead, the brick and mortar offices, we don't have corporate paid recruiters, we don't have broker owners that are taking a piece of the pie. We do have brokers that help agents do their transactions, and they're paid a salary. But because we don't have all of that kind of middle management, essentially that money that would go to all of that comes and flows back to us as agents through the revenue share plan. And so it's important to point out too that the revenue share is paid off of the company's 20% that they take on the split. This is not an extra fee. It doesn't come out of the agent's pocket in any way. It's truly just a way that the company awards us as agents for helping to grow this company, right? And so it's not a requirement. There's no requirement that says you have to participate or go after revenue share if you join. It's just an extra benefit that we have to grow additional income streams here at the company. And so if you see here that, it's paid from, it's called AGCI, Adjusted Gross Commission Income. And what that means is that essentially, and I'll show you on the next slide here, it's a straight percentage off of the gross commission income. The only reason that it's adjusted is, and gets a little technical, I'll try and keep it easy, but is for the revenue share plan, it pays out at 50% of company dollar. So basically meaning of the 20% that the company takes in at company dollar, they are committed to paying 50% of that out. So they'll pay 10% of the 20. 6% of that 20% goes to paying our overhead, and then 4% is the profit margin. The only reason I point that out is because there's a lot of times that you might hear like, oh, that business model is not sustainable. I know that I've heard that myself being at this company for many years, but if you think of it in that terms, that's a very scalable and sustainable business model. And again, that's also why we continue to grow. So, don't always just listen to what is out there, do the investigation. And the 50% in company dollar is what helps us do that. And so what that means is, let's just say for the revenue share plan, because it bounces kind of back and forth, some months it might be 55% of company dollar. They take 5% and they adjust the commissions to where you get 50%. But just likewise, if it's the other way, if it's say 46%, their commitment is to pay 50% out. So then everybody gets a 4% boost that month. So it kind of fluctuates, but for the most part, it's right around that number. So it's not gonna vary wildly, but that is what that adjustment means, just so you can kind of see that. And so if we go to the next slide here, what you'll see is that there's 7 tiers that we get paid on in revenue share. And so tier 1 is basically anybody that you personally sponsor into the company. So let's just say in this case, Kate sponsors me into the company. Well, Kate is going to get 3.5% of every single one of my deals up until I cap. And so if I close a $10,000 commission check, she's going to get $350 directly deposited into her account the very next month. And she's going to continue to do that time over time, closing after closing, until I cap, because again, the revenue share is paid from the 20% that the company takes in. Once I cap, there's no more 20%. So it's going to come from that 20%. Once I cap, then it stops. But then the next year, when my anniversary resets, the revenue share is going to continue all over again. But it gets even better than that. So now, let's just say that I've been with the company for a few months. I see Kate earning a little bit of revenue share from my deals. And I say, hey, you know what, Kate, I'd love to be able to get some of this revenue share myself. So then I go out and I sponsor Luana, right? And I say, hey, Luana, I used to do a transaction with you. Do you remember me? Oh, yeah, I remember you. Okay, great. Well, hey, why don't I show you this unique business model? And then let's just say Luana joins. Well, now at this point, I am going to get the 3.5% from Luana's deal because I'm her sponsor. But then Kate also benefits in this scenario as well, because Luana would be on Kate's tier 2. And as you notice, tier 2, you actually get paid more on than even tier 1. You get paid 4% from agents that are on your tier 2. Okay, you add these numbers up. So that 0.2% plus the 3.8%, that equals 4% that you get on your second tier. And it goes on just like that, so on and so forth, all the way down 7 tiers down. And so now one little thing to point out is that you do have to have a certain amount of frontline qualified agents to unlock these different tiers and get the maximum benefit of the revenue share. And what I mean by that is, let's just say in the scenario that I just presented where Kate sponsored me and I sponsored Luana, if Kate had not sponsored anybody else, just me, then she only has 1 agent that she's personally sponsored. You need 5 agents to unlock that second tier. So in that case, Kate would get the lesser percentage, the 0.2% here. But then once Kate goes out and she sponsors 5 agents personally that named her as their sponsor, then she has now unlocked this tier, and she gets both of the percentages added up together. And so as you'll notice there, the requirement to unlock each tier increases by 5. So from 5, 10, 15, 20 to 25. And then to unlock the 7th tier, which is the highest paid tier at 5%, you would have to be at 40 agents that you've personally sponsored. So again, I know this is a lot of numbers. I like to kind of give examples and scenarios, as far as what is possible. But from what, I've seen in the business, I know agents that are sponsoring anywhere from even just, 5 to 10 agents personally. And they're earning, a few hundred to a few $1,000 monthly in revenue share. And so again, it all depends on, if this is going to be something that you want to go after and do. It's there and it's available. But even if you don't want to go after and pursue the revenue share, there's still so many great benefits that eXp Realty provides to us as agents to help us earn more money. The stock, the revenue share, KV Core, the 58 plus hours of training that we're doing. And, and just kind of like Luana had mentioned, I mean, it's really amazing to go inside of eXp World and get the training that we get. It's almost like going to a conference every single day, because typically the type of people that are in their training, they are icon agents. And so those are top agents within our company. And you get to hear a different perspective as far as, what they're seeing in their market and what they're doing. What might be totally different than what somebody in your market might be doing. And so you get so much great perspective. I know that for me personally, it's helped me to increase my sales business. And then also along this entire path, I've been able to grow these other income streams like the revenue share and the stock. And so it's just been a really fun thing to do. You get to team up with great people like Kate and Luana and myself. And it's just a whole lot of fun. It's completely just revitalized my business. It's made me happier than ever to be in the real estate industry. So that being said, I'm going to kick it back over to you, Kate, to kind of close us up here.
Totally. Thank you so much. Thank you both for adding your 2 cents into that and just explaining a little bit more about eXp. I really think it is so beneficial to get all these different perspectives. And like Kyle was saying, in the world, just being able to connect directly with these huge producers in the business, even if you aren't interested in the rev share side, just learning from people who have been in the business for years, or they have grown their sales to incredible numbers. It's really amazing that they are so open to sharing. They're so open to, bettering you as an agent. And like they say, a rising tide lifts all ships. And that is absolutely the culture at eXp. That's one of the biggest differences I found, is how supportive and open everybody is to offering their advice, to offering their tips and tricks. And it's just been really incredible. So thank you everyone for tuning in and watching this. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're probably going through a lot of emotions right now, like, can this be real? This sounds amazing. You'll go from excitement to doubt. I think we've all been there. So please reach out to Luana or myself if you have any questions. We'd love to show you a little bit more about our eXp world, the back end of Enterprise, anything you have that you need clarification on. Don't hesitate. Like I said, that's our culture and that's kind of the way we work. So we just want to share this opportunity. And if it's something that's right for you or something you want to explore a little bit more, please reach out. And that's all I have.